Now to a follow-up on a story that had a lot of intense interest here along the Suncoast as the Florida Department of Health looked into a possible cancer cluster at the old Bayshore High School in Bradenton. Earlier this week, after 3 years of data gathering and interviews, the health department announced they could find no cancer cluster. But as our Seshmi Hayes reports, that final answer is not acceptable for the members of Fight for Zero. That's a cancer survivor group seeking to hold the state accountable for environmental resources.
My sister Terry passed away in 1999.
After years of waiting and conducting their own independent studies, Cheryl Joseph says she and the team at Fight for Zero were hoping for a different outcome from the Florida Department of Health. Instead, the DOH ruled against the organization's claims of a cancer cluster at the old Bayshore High.
My first reaction was I was not surprised that they said that there was no evidence of a cluster. I expected that from them.
Still, she says they have several issues with how the DOH handled their investigations. The department concluded there was no evidence of a cancer cluster related to the high school. The DOH says a total of 239 people from a single area code completed the patient forms. But that's a number Joseph says just isn't enough.
The immediate thing that pops out is that there were large amounts of classes that were excluded from the study. So I don't know how they can compare apples to apples from what our experts found to their report.
And she goes on to say
they never collected the first patient listing form like the Manatee County Health Department did. And they had a report for them in 8 months. And they used 2 different zip codes. So we went to Tallahassee, and we're trying to get Tallahassee to realize that there are many reporting discrepancies in the Florida Department of Health in the way they collect information for cancer clusters. And you know what, that's huge, because you can't exclude classes of 1962 all the way up to 1985. These are victims. These are people that have died, people that fought for their lives. And to not include that in the data, it tells me that this report was written to produce the outcome that the Florida Department of Health wanted, and that would be to find no evidence of a cancer cluster.
Leukemias, lymphomas, and brain cancers are the 3 cancers Fight for Zero saw the most. For now, the decision from the DOH is one she and the families have to live with.
It's not just that we don't believe their report. The thing is we've been doing our own investigation because we expected this answer, and what we are finding is extremely disturbing, and actually the public should be very, very concerned with what we're finding.
And she says despite the DOH's findings, their fight is not over.
Experts that include a toxicologist, epidemiologist, geologist, they all concur that everything points to a cancer cluster.
And the work for clean water and a toxic-free environment continues. Seshmi Hayes, ABC 7, your local station.
Now, we are told the health department check included investigation of 8 different types of cancer, including lymphoma, brain cancer, and breast cancer.